before I waste more time, let me just introduce you guys to our CEO, who's Sophie Mwale. I hope, Sophie, you can just say hi.
Hi, guys.
So yes, that is our CEO. So Sophie will be taking us on some of the things that we've come across during the CV review, some of the mistakes, some of the amendments we can do, and how you can align yourself with job hunting. Yeah. So Sophie,
Yes,
kindly just tell us first what is employee or how employee came up to be.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sophie Mwale. I'm the CEO of Employ. It's a job placement platform operating cross-continent. Currently, we are active in around 7 markets. That is all the East African countries. We're in Zimbabwe, Nigeria, and just of recent, we've also started operations in the US and in the Middle East. Now, as we go ahead, I know most of you may have some questions. So how we've set this up is that you can type into, there's that chat thing button at the bottom of the screen. So if you have any question or any area you'd like addressed, you can type that in there. You can also say hi to the rest of the participants and maybe say where you are attending this forum from. And in case you have any questions, leave them there so that during the forum or before the end of the forum, we'll have addressed most of those. So anyway, back to Employ. We started operations in 2016. Basically our vision is to serve a huge population of Africans who are looking for tools either that are easy to use, they're affordable within the continent, either whether they want to recruit or whether they're looking to get placed. We have an audience base of more than 100,000 subscribers currently in all our markets, and we are seeing ourselves grow quite rapidly over the next 12 months to just cover more needs of more of our users. So anyway, about Employ during COVID, we also got thrown into this madness like everyone else over, I think, a month ago. And one of the things we decided to do is that we wanted to provide our users with a support system to help them more, especially right now, they're not so sure whether, well, should they be applying for work? Is anybody still recruiting out there? Because they keep hearing that a lot of employers are letting go of people, a lot of employers are moving their teams to remote. So I understand that it might be a bit of a turbulent time for people who are looking for work and people who've just been let go of from their previous roles. So what we did at the beginning of this initiative, we rolled out a free CV review exercise that Eva and her team were handling, whereby we were just looking at a CV from the perspective of an advisor as opposed to the perspective of a recruiter. We usually look at CVs as recruiters most of the time, and you see that is not really a compassionate angle to look at a CV from, because if you are looking at it as a recruiter, then you're bound to see a lot of mistakes instead of seeing an opportunity to help the person on the other side. Even if you saw an opportunity to help the other side, you're usually too overwhelmed maybe with the requirements at hand from employers. So you're too busy to start handling and advising and coaching and directing. So that's why we thought this would be a good time to launch this kind of initiative. After the CV review exercise, a couple of, I think, common mistakes were identified by the team, ranging from maybe spelling issues, formatting issues, career gaps that could have been avoided on the CV, and just a lot of things that you'd be surprised. These mistakes are actually across board, not just with the junior level employees, but job seekers of all hierarchy commit these mistakes sometimes actually unknowingly. So yeah, back to Eva.
Thanks so much, Sophie. You really covered a lot. So you've told us some of the mistakes that we came across and shared with you, and also you noticed. But you've not told us how can you know a good CV?
How to know a good CV? Well, a good CV it's not a stereotype. I know in the market, a lot of people would read a lot of blogs that are stereotypes. A good CV should look like this or should be displayed like this. The most important thing about a good CV is that, are you representing yourself as best as you should for that particular position? A good CV, it's the first tool that the employer is gonna view or interact with you as a person, okay? So it really needs to represent yourself in the best way possible, but beyond that, it needs to appeal to their needs. You know, there's a specific need that that employer has at that particular time, and employer needs are so diverse, even for a single role. There is an employer who's looking for an accountant and another employer who's also looking for an accountant, but whatever profile of person they're looking for, depending on their companies, their work culture, the kind of business they're in. So you find that they're looking for two completely different people. So the first thing a job seeker needs to do is actually through reading the JD as well as they should. I know a lot of job seekers sometimes just apply. I mean, yeah, but it's really good to read a JD and understand the JD and sometimes even research the organization, find out exactly what business line they're in, and then that makes you decide now the kind of person you want to present to them yourself as being.
Okay, Sophie, there's one thing. Kindly differentiate for us the difference of a CV template and a CV content.
Okay, so okay, interesting. So template is basically the outlay of your CV. Uh, Generally, we have different formats that CVs use in the market. We have a chronological CV, which states your experience in order of chronology, like from your most recent experience up to your earliest. And then we have a functional CV, which is more heavy on your skill and is usually really good for people maybe who've done project-based work or people who do like gig jobs, you know, whether you're doing freelancing, whether you're a researcher. A functional CV, because, you know, in terms of chronology, a chronological CV trains an employer to look at your employment as from your recent role, okay? And if they see gaps or if your employment keeps staggering around, that's what usually puts off a lot of recruiters. So if you're someone who's done work that's not really aligned and that chronological, the best CV you can use is your functional CV, because basically you are selling the actual skills you have, your achievements, your competencies, and the technical things you can do on the ground. But then the most I think common CV around is usually a combination of both, where you are talking about both your skills and competencies, and you're also talking about your previous employment in order of chronology. Now, you asked about sorry, it was about the format and the content.
Yeah.
Well, now the content is where now you apply the stuff that we've just spoken about before we go to this question, where we were talking about you understanding the needs of this employer and now aligning yourself in that paper as the right person to match those needs, okay? So if an employer says they want an accountant who's good at bookkeeping and bank reconciliation, just the basic day-to-day accounting. So since you've understood that's what your employer wants, your experience might be so diverse with a lot of other million accounting things. You might be good at forecasting, you might be good at mergers and acquisition and all that. But if an employer just wants someone for bookkeeping and you are really sure you really want this job because you can do bookkeeping, it's best you place most of your focus on that CV around your bookkeeping experience. You'll still talk about the other stuff, but they are not really of priority. And you'll find that the way you align your content on the CV now, the content that aligns with bookkeeping comes before the content now that aligns with mergers and acquisition and expansion and all the other awesome things that you can do.
Okay. I just remembered something when you're talking about career gaps. Most of the time we find CVs that maybe someone has a gap of like 2 years, and the question, if you ask them, what have you been doing for 2 years? Job hunting. Honestly, I don't think so there's any profession as job hunting, right?
No, there isn't. I mean,
So
if you've been looking for a job for 2 years, chances are it shows that there's something like really wrong with you. Okay, so it's best you. There was also something else you were doing. You weren't just job hunting the entire time. Maybe you had a gig. Maybe there's something you were doing on the side. Maybe you were taking some courses or something. You are a proactive human being. You need to show that proactivity on your CV. Otherwise, I mean, nobody wants to deal with someone who can be comfortable being idle for 2 years.
okay, so just give us an insight of the job hunting journey way forward.
Oh, okay. Going forward, especially over the next 1 year, we expect sort of a recession, you know. I mean, we don't expect the market to bounce back as fast. We have economists who talk about at least 18 months before the market goes back to where we were pre-COVID. So the job hunting journey is expected to be tough. You know, it's expected to be tough, but I think there are still possibilities of getting hired. So it's not right to assume that there's nobody who will be hiring. There are industries who are actually right now hiring very, very massively. People in internet or online delivery services. We have people in the medical healthcare. So one of the things I would advise anyone who's really job searching right now is to align their experiences in line with whatever these industries are looking for. And I know every good human being always has skills that are applicable cross-sector and cross-functionally. They just need to bring that out. I mean, I've been in the HR space for a lot of time, but I don't think there is no role that I can handle. There is absolutely no role for me in the hospitality industry. You know, the same skill sets that I've had within my experience, whether it's people management, whether it's exploring markets, whether it's product rollout, all these skills are also applicable cross-sector. The only thing now is that you have to align yourself with that, okay? Let the next person who opens your CV see someone who can work in the hospitality industry or someone who can work in tech. Let them not just see a totally irrelevant person. The best way also to move forward with that, assuming maybe I really don't have any medical sector skills, okay? Or maybe I don't have any exposure in the tech industry. The best thing I can do, there are a lot of courses, short courses online that I can undertake in those particular industries that will give me the necessary exposure that I'm talking about. And if you're just willing to put in the right kind of commitment, any other recruiter out there will be able to see actually that through you and notice that you're someone who's proactive, and that's a very attractive quality. One of the other things people can still continue doing right now is actually network as much as possible. You know, the same skills that you usually apply in job hunting during normal times, you do them also during this period. And you might be at an age, because you may find a lot of job hunters have also like withdrawn and they're feeling a bit hopeless. So maybe if you're a bit more proactive, that will put you ahead of the line. I'm also thinking one of the other key things we'll be looking at looking for work outside the normal boundaries and the normal descriptions, you know, like if you can get a good job in line with what you're doing in different markets, I think you should go for it. And I think it's the need for this, because a lot of job seekers have expressed their desire to get international work experience, work within other countries and other regions. And that is what advised our expansion to Nigeria and the UAE and the US. So I think it's a good time for job seekers to explore these opportunities. You just never know what might lie out there for you. Do I really have any other insights on what I think? I'm not so sure. If I think about something, I'll mention it.
Okay. I don't know if there's anyone here because I can't see any comments. Is there anyone who has a burning question on CV write-up? Okay. No one?
Okay. Okay, I know, but I'll provide, I think, our email addresses on the chat, so that in case anybody has any other questions later, they can get in touch. Ultimately, this has been a hurried webinar, so we have not covered a lot that we will cover ideally. We usually do these CV webinars and not webinars. The master classes are usually an yearly event. Our master classes are usually a yearly event, and we usually do them face to face. It's only this is the first time that we are doing it online. So we'll drop our contacts. I think guys can get in touch with their requirements at a later time.
Okay, but what you can do, yeah, I think Sophie has just said it all on how you can do the questions. Sorry, there's one question I'm trying to read. Yes, we do offer CV writing services. Now, all the details on how much we charge depending on the professional level are on our website. At the moment, we are offering a discounted CV review, that is 50% CV review. Oh, sorry, CV editing. CV review is just free, but we advise you not only to rely on CV review, but you also get your CV edited. As Sophie had said, you never know. Some organizations are still advertising, so they need of guys. I'll also put you in touch with our marketer, one of our head marketers. He'll just be able to tell you more on some of the products that will suit you as a job seeker. So Kevin, kindly take us through.
We've got different products for the job seekers, train you as best as possible towards getting employment. That is, we do CV editing, and we also have other job seeker customized products like we have what we call a featured job seeker package, and then you can also get a job seeker basic package, which gives you notifications. So on the CV editing packages, we've got five levels. There's the first two would be the entry level. So for the entry level, it's Kenya shillings 2,000. As Eva has said, we are offering right now 50% discount. So right now you can get it at 1,000. If you feel you're at mid level, that you need a CV for mid level positions, that's normally 4,000. Right now we are doing 50% offer. That would be 2,000 shillings. In the middle, we've got the career change CV or promotion CV. That's, for example, if you're looking to move from one level to the next, which is normally very important. This package goes for 6,000 shillings, and with the discount, you'll get it at 3,000 shillings. So if we go to the top, there's two levels. That's the management level, and there's also the senior management level. For the management level, that's also 6,000 shillings. You can get it for 3,000 shillings. And for the senior management level kind of CV, that's usually 10,000 shillings. You can get it at 5,000 shillings. And if we move to the featured job seeker package, just a brief overview of the package. This package allows you to be at the top of the employer's search. We have different employers registered in our system. So every time employers log in, once you're on the featured job seeker package, you get to be on the top of the list once they're searching for candidates. That's 159 shillings. You find that the prices are really, really affordable. So the one would be the job seeker basic package. This is a notification kind of package. You'll get notifications once you're shortlisted, and once employers get to view your package. That would be 49 shillings. I hope I'm clear. You can put your questions at the comment section. Back to you, Eva.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. I hope everything has been said. Sorry for that. I hope everything has been said and everything is clear. So for any more questions, since you want to start winding up, unless anyone else has something else to say or a comment or a question.
I can see Brenda is asking whether the 149 shilling featured package is per job vacancy. I think Kevin had explained most of it, but basically this is the package that highlights you on all the search lists when employers are searching the database. One of the new features we've also introduced to the featured job seeker is that your profile appears on every job vacancy that is within your category, even if you've not applied for that job. So basically the system will apply on your behalf for any job vacancy that's within your category. So basically this system, the featured package has accelerated job placement. It's a new package, but which we introduced in January, but we've actually seen it really work a lot for the guys who've already subscribed to it. So it's one of the ways that you can use to beat the current LAL, annual subscription, which is discounted, which you pay now 149 times 11 instead of times 12. That is the 12 months of the month. Stay in touch. All this is fine. Working on your CV, applying for the featured package is all fine, but don't forget, Employ is a free platform for job seekers, okay? And a lot of the resources that are there on Employ are not paid, okay? One of the resources that we have that is not paid is like we spoke about the information series, which we also rolled out at the beginning of this crisis. So basically the information series will be breaking down to you the numbers in manners that are relevant to to your job search, okay? So we look at the employment trends, we forecast the employment trends in the coming month, we break down government communications, we do comparisons with other regions. We also, because we are in so many markets, we are also providing insightful information in these other markets. And all these are services that you just, you access at no cost. We run weekly blogs where we give pertinent advice on your job search. I think we have a very good team that does very meaningful blogs that are well researched. Yeah, so that's just some of the webinar series that we've rolled out. This one being our very first webinar, so we'll have other webinars. We are calling them Employee Connect. Employ, let me break down to you why we call everything employ this, employ that. Employ is not just our name. Employ is a French word that means jobs, okay? So when we talk about Employee Connect, we mean Jobs Connect, okay? So we'll be having these webinars. We'll be having a series where we are talking to established business persons who can also give you advice on how you can do the transition from employment to business. Because I know one of the things that some of us may have to do in the coming months is to look at options of getting into entrepreneurship, okay? And I know a lot of people even right now are already thinking about entrepreneurship. They're already starting a venture here and there. And I know in as much as they traditionally describe themselves as employees, they would like a situation where they also manage their own ventures and they really don't have to struggle with the market so much in search of jobs. So we'll be running all these series that you can be in touch with. I assume all of you are already registered users on the website, because anytime there is a new information alert, anytime there is a new feature, anytime there is a new product, a new engagement, we always send out email alerts to users who are registered on the platform. So I hope all of you guys have user accounts. And for the back to Brenda again, she asked about the cost for the featured job seeker package. One way to pay for your featured job seeker package is actually to pay cash. The other way to pay is actually to amass credits through the referral program. So refer your friends. When you go to the website, I think, Kevin, you can post for us the link for refer a friend here also, so that it's easier for the guys in this meeting to just click on it. So refer a friend, and then you earn credits, and then you convert these credits into cash that you can use to purchase a product on the platform.
Okay. So one of the things that you want to do is you want to create an employee group, and this will be on the Telegram. Reasons for Telegram is it's a bit broad and a bit wide, so it will be able to accommodate so many people. With that, you'll be able to get in touch with us and be able to really ask us questions or clarifications on anything. So we'll post the group link we'll either send you an email or we'll post it to our website. Yeah, we have something called exclusive placement. So what happens for this exclusive placement? We tailor your CV specifically for a specific job, and we also do interview coaching for you towards that specific job. Now, this one, the charges will only be depending on your level, your professional level. That's how you will be able to know how much you'll be charged. The advantage of this is you have 2 interview sessions with us. So if maybe you applied for 2 positions and maybe you want interview coaches for both 2 positions, then we'll be able to coach you towards that specific job. In case you need any extra coaching, we'll now do a separate coaching for you, and now that one will be at an extra fee. Another advantage of the exclusive placement is you get the featured job seeker package for like 3 months. That one you're assured within 3 months you'll already get your dream job. Yeah, I hope I've answered you, Caroline. Okay. Sophie, do you have anything to clarify?
Not really, because basically this was a session for our users. In as much as we had spoken about it, talking about the CV Masterclass and job hunting in the COVID-19 era, it's mostly a session where we want also to collect their opinions and what views they have, and then we use this to keep iterating on our products and just providing them with the best job search platform they can hope for in the continent.
Okay, so since there are no other questions and we've answered like all the questions that were coming in, we can keep talking on either our website or anywhere else.
Wait, just a minute before you end the meeting, Eva. Okay. I think there's a lot of people who are sending comments. I think you can see them. I also wanted to post your email over there for those ones who might want who might think about questions after the session is over. So I've just posted some 2 email addresses there, one for Eva and one for our general info addresses. I'll also put mine there just in case. Sophie@employee.co. Okay, now let me have a look at some of these questions. We have hello, I have applied to advertised electrical technician's job at Mombasa and Nairobi. How will I handle my expectations at this moment? There is a lot that I'm not getting from this question. Maybe the owner of the question is just written Nokia 2.3. Maybe you can unmute your mic or even unmute their mic so that they can ask their own question. Maybe we can interact better that way. As you do that, there is Nokia 2.3. I know that's not your name.
Yes, that's not my name.
How are you? What's your name?
My name is John Waswa.
John Owaswa.
Yes, from Kakamega.
Yes, John, tell us.
Yes. So that's the issue I was handling out because I've applied for jobs. I've gone to jobs at the exam technologies in Nairobi, and there's not job at the Pine Oil Refinery at the Lake Technician. So I'm trying to wonder what's not happening at the moment because for the case of Pine Oil, the jobs was advertised some 1 week ago, and for the case of this exam technologies, it was advertised yesterday. So I don't know how I'm going to handle this expectation at this period of coronavirus. Currently, I don't have any job. I'm out of a job because I resigned from Mumia Sugar Company. And I said the currently Mumia Sugar Company is not operating. So we are looking for ways at which I can survive at this current difficult position.
Okay. About the two positions, because one you just applied yesterday, I think
Yes.
ideally you should give it like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But you also understand government things sometimes can be a bit all over the place. So it's one of those jobs that you just apply and move on with your life. And if they call you, yay. If they don't call you, you are doing something else, okay? The one for
Thank you.
Pwani Oil, they may be one of the companies that also have still a lot of operations right now because they are an essential service provider. When did you apply for that one?
I can't remember exactly. Unless if
I could advise how we can help is you can send us also, you can send your CV to Eva. I'm sure she will be willing to review that for you. Said that she can see.
I'll send you that one, yeah.
And also do this, send the CV and also send the link for the Pwani Oil vacancy, okay? So that from our own eye, we can look at your CV and see whether your chances were very good for that position or not. But meanwhile, continue applying for more of those jobs. And if you feel like you've already applied enough and you're not getting feedback, then before you apply to the next, just send us your CV and send us the vacancy so that we compare both of them and advise you the best way to do that application.
Okay, thank you, madam. But another case, what I to propose is, let's say that I've sent you my CV, then you work on it on my behalf, so that currently you understand the situation what you are going through. Everybody else, yes. Let me see my CV. Then on my behalf, or on your behalf, you are certain for me the any job application that you may get in Nairobi or any place, because currently I'm in Kakamega. So in any case that you get any among your customers, if you get any job, then I send you my CV because I want to send my CV at the moment. Then you work on it. Then I think you can agree sometime later on how we can.
We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
There are two ways.
Do for me the job searching. That's what I'm trying to suggest. Job searching on my side.
That will be the exclusive placement package, right, Eva?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you guys will have that. I think we'll take Eva. You talk to John. I don't know how John can give you his number, or John, get in touch on email. Send Eva an email or call her on the office line. Let me give you the office line so that we have your number, have the discussion on the exclusive placement.
Okay, madam.
That is our office line. Huh?
I'll appreciate. Okay.
And then there is Austin also, who asks, how can a fresh graduate make his or her CV be of good quality? Austin, is Austin here? Austin, Eva, maybe you can mute his mic.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You look like the guy we met in Machakos.
Yeah, I was the brand ambassador in Machakos People.
Oh, nice. Good to see you again. Huh?
Welcome.
So, did you ever come to the office after the event, really?
No, I was not able to come since you are still doing the cuts. Then, unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic struck the situation.
Oh, so you are in Machakos right now?
No, right now I'm in Nairobi.
In Nairobi? I think you can pass by the office, but just to answer, maybe for the benefit of someone else who wants, also for the benefit of yourself.
Okay.
The thing about graduates, and it's the thing that employee is trying to streamline this market. What happens is that employers in this market do not have a number of good tools that are affordable that will help them look at someone and assess this someone's quality or capability, apart from the CV. So right now, employers use the CV and the work experience. So you see, that alone disqualifies a lot of fresh graduates. But you see, we also know by the time someone is 24 years old from university, this person has done a lot of things and they have a lot of skills. In fact, I think I've seen graduates who are much smarter than most of us experienced guys. So it's the only thing that now young guys have to do is to show on their CV how smart they are, okay? Did you just like go to class and come back, or you did like some part-time work, you did online writing, you did your school attachment, by the way, in which you delivered and you had some really good experience and lessons that you got from it. You need to show that to employers, okay? Yes. After school attachment, whether there is any other internship experience you've had, you need to do that. And this is where, you remember I spoke about a functional CV. As much as I went very broadly about it, a functional CV is very useful for graduates specifically. Your core competencies, let's say your core competencies are your core technical skills, okay? Yeah. What have you studied, Austin?
I'm doing a bachelor's of economics and finance.
Economics and finance, right? Like, yes, but yeah. What exactly, if I gave you a desk and a machine and I told you, okay, so do some economics and finance stuff, what exactly can you do? Maybe you can assess an economy, maybe you can do accounts, sorry?
Yeah, I can basically do accounts.
You can do accounts.
Most of finance part, yeah.
And if you can do accounts, let me ask you, remember that thing we said about trying now to put in some proactivity, eh? Are you getting your friends or someone who needs some part-time accounting work and you're helping them with a bit of the accounting work?
Yeah, just a few, not more. I have some people my help.
Yes. So exactly what you've done for them, whether you've done bookkeeping, whether you did bank reconciliation for them, whether you did the cash flow statements, profit and loss and all those things. Now, those are the core competencies. Those are the technical skills that you put at the top of your CV. You know, just after your name, let the person looking at your CV, the first thing he sees, before he even knows whether you are still in school or you are not in school, whether you've graduated or you are from high school, before he sees any of that stuff, he sees what you can do, okay? Which is the bookkeeping and all that. And then after you've stipulated your core competencies, if you don't have any work experience, you can talk about the projects you've worked on, okay? Yes. And now here you play with language. So if you're looking for an accounting job, you will say the accounting projects that I've previously worked on. So you give the name of the project, what were the project deliverables, okay? And what did you achieve against the deliverables, okay? And even to be more convincing, you can give like the name and number of the person you worked on that project for at the bottom of that. It doesn't have to be a formula. There's no formula as long as you are showing your best strengths at the top. Hello. Yeah, so work out something. I think I'll do what we usually do during the CV masterclass sessions that we have the other years. What we usually do after the masterclass is we usually challenge the participants to try and see if they've picked any knowledge from the session and if they can apply that knowledge on their CV. So, and then after the session, the participant will send us the CV before the masterclass and the CV they did after the masterclass. And then for us, we also review again and we give you more feedback on your after the masterclass CV so that you can improve on it. The thing is, at the end of the day, there is no platform for free CVs ever in the world. What gives you, what there are platforms that say they can do for you a free CV. Our own platform has got a CV builder. A lot of platforms have got a CV builder. A CV builder is not a CV guidance template, okay? Because a CV builder is just where you go and put the same details you already have on your CV into that template, and then it generates another format of a CV, and you like it, you're thinking, oh, it looks so nice. But don't forget that what gets you shortlisted is not the outlay of the CV, it's the content, okay? So it's very useful for people to understand the art of writing the right, of including the right content on CVs. And I think now you can use this masterclass. If you don't want to spend money on getting an external person to write for you a good CV, you can use this masterclass to just pick the lessons that you gather, put them in your CV, send it to us, we have a look at it, we give you feedback, and then you improve on that as you go along.
Thank you.
Karibu. Okay, I think okay, Nokia says, oh, sorry, it's called John. John says he appreciates the response. I don't think there is any other question.
Sorry for that. Yeah, there's no any other question or any other comment that has come in. So we are very, very grateful for you guys joining us. As much as we visioned for the numbers to be quite more, but it's okay. So in case of any other, not in case, there'll be other classes that we'll be holding, maybe visually, we'll just organize and we'll let you know. But thank you so much for joining, and that's it.
Thank you, guys.